Okay, so we switched over to the Meta Ray-Ban glasses. We're going to see how this goes. Now, what I'm doing here is we're going to do the basic setup of the Matterport Pro3 camera and connect everything and do a couple of scans. And then in the last video, we're going to actually go through and scan a small space. So, like I mentioned before, we're using our Pro3 rental kit, complete rental kit, as a demo here. Remove the removable zip ties, and this kit comes with everything you need. Basically, the capture app's loaded on the iPad, it's ready to go. So, say we're getting ready to scan. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn the iPad on. Let it be starting up. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set the tripod up. As I mentioned, we like the Manfrotto 190. This is the X4, which is small enough to fit in our kit here. It makes it pretty handy. Go ahead and extend the tripod legs. Always make sure you fully closed the clasp. Any of the tripods have some kind of locking mechanism. Just make sure you fully close those when you're setting the tripod up. Okay, so the tripod's ready. I'm going to set it up here. Now, as far as we get some questions sometime about how level it needs to be, generally speaking, the Matterport cameras are pretty forgiving. They can be off by up to 10 degrees, I think, and still not have any problem with the image quality. I like to eyeball it. This one actually has a little bubble level on it, so you can basically look at that. But eyeballing it to me is plenty good. Got the tripod set up. Next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and put the tripod adapter on, or the T-mount. This has a 3/8 inch female fitting here where you screw it on there, and then there's this little lever. You want to, when you're going to set the camera down, you want to open it up. That releases these little clasps here. When you tighten it back up, it tightens up. One locks fully, the other one has a slight little bit of play, and that's normal. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on here, tighten it down, and I like to not super torque it, but I want it to be tight. Now, you also want to make sure, a lot of these tripods have this, you can loosen this knob and you can raise up, which is fine if you need it raised up. This height is typically pretty good for scanning everything. If you have a real low ceiling space you're scanning, you might want to bring it down some. And so we find that the fully extended tripod is good for most scanning. The other thing is you want to make sure everything on the tripod is tight. If this happened to be loose, that looseness right there will cause an unstable error with the camera. So you just want to make sure everything is snug on the tripod, that clasp is open. We'll go ahead and get the camera out. And like I said, this is the newest Matterport camera. This is the Pro3. It has the integrated LiDAR sensor in it. Oh, there's the label. When you have our rental kits, that's where we typically put the label to ship the kit back to us under there. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, the camera sensors here, always want to remember to take this off. I have forgotten it before, and we've had customers that have forgotten it too. So definitely take that off. Here's the control panel. Battery goes here. Tripod mount fits in there. I'm going to go ahead and put a battery in it. It only goes one way. There's contacts and contacts here. You slide it in. It won't let you put it in the wrong way. Put this in, and then I like to make sure I wiggle this a little bit to make sure that this locking mechanism is fully seated. I've had a few times where the camera was on the tripod and you put the battery in and it would want to fall out because it didn't fully lock. So you want to make sure that gets locked. And then on the Pro3, if you push this button for a short period of time, it's going to give you the battery level. So this is 98%, battery's fully charged. If you push and hold it past that, you're going to see the Matterport logo. And that means it's in the boot up sequence there. You can release it and it's going to go ahead and boot up. And then it's going to start broadcasting its Wi-Fi signal. So another thing, setting the camera on here, you want to be sure that it's not cocked one way or the other. When you go to clamp it down, you can feel it. It'll fully seat and you can see it's flush there. I'm going to tilt this tripod a little bit that way, a little bit more level. Okay, so the camera's still booting up. Now I'm going to go to the iPad and turn it on. And the first thing I'm going to do is check the Wi-Fi here. It says Wi-Fi not connected. I'm going to connect to my Wi-Fi here. 87326607. The reason I'm doing this is I'm just going to show you the if you don't have the Capture app on here, you go to the App Store, continue, turn off personalized ads, search. If you just type in Matterport, there's Matterport, and you're going to see the Matterport app right there. That's, if you didn't have it loaded, that's a free app. You just download that. Now it's already on this iPad. So I'm going to go back. I'm looking at the camera now, and I'm assuming you'll be able to see this. You see a little shape for the camera, and you see some animated Wi-Fi waves. That means the camera's on. Its Wi-Fi network is broadcasting, but it's not connected to anything. So I want to go in here, and if you look at, in the Wi-Fi, you look at the networks, Matterport, the Pro3s are always going to come up Matterport, and then the serial number, which is always going to start with a Q. So you want to connect to that network. Now occasionally the first time when I go to connect, for some reason it'll say can't connect, and then you just do it again and it'll do it. It connected fine this time. So now you go back here and you can see this has changed. The Wi-Fi is solid, the little radio waves, and it shows you the battery signal with the circle there. That means it's connected. And then on the iPad, obviously you can tell that it's connected there. So you're basically ready to go there. So the next thing you would do is open up the Capture app. Update camera firmware. I'll do that later. Normally I suggest go ahead, and if you're out on a job and you get an firmware update message, I would say don't do it on the job. Maybe do it at home. Do it later when you can test it. I haven't really had any problem with any of the firmware updates so far, though. Okay, so here's the Matterport Capture app. You're going to click down here, New Job. Now, I'm not logged into my Matterport account right now. Let's just show that. You go into Settings and Sign In, Register. Okay, so if I was going to upload the job, I would need to be logged into my Matterport account, but I'm not. When you're scanning, you don't need to be logged in. So I'm going to go back to here, go to Jobs. Oh, one more thing. Jobs are scans that you're doing or have done that are saved on the iPad. Spaces is what's already been uploaded to your cloud account. That's what's available on your cloud account. And you can go in there and download a space back to your iPad. So do all jobs. And so I'm going to click on New Job. Now, here's where you can put quite a bit of information in here. I typically, when I'm out on a job, I just put in something like test or the name of where I'm scanning and hit save. And then I'll fill in the details later after I've done the scan before I upload it. So the job says test, that's what we're on. This tells you that it's connected to the Matterport, capturing with Matterport Pro3. You want to make sure that is. If for some reason it's got disconnected, you would need to go back in and make sure your Wi-Fi is connected to the camera. So we're ready to go. So now this is all ready. We're ready to actually do a scan. So we're just going to do 2 here so you can kind of see what goes on here. Okay, so when you push the scan button, you're going to notice the mirror is going to start spinning, and then the camera is going to do its rotations, and we'll see it here. And you just walk behind. As long as you're behind, you don't want to be on the side here where the LiDAR, where you're blocking the LiDAR, and you definitely don't want to be out in front where the camera can see you. So I'm going to initiate a scan. So the mirror is spinning, now it's rotating, so it's going to do 4 stops. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. Okay, so now it's transferring the data from the camera over to the iPad, and it always transfers everything. Okay, so now you can see it's done. So here's the perimeter of the living room that I'm in and the couch. The one represents the first scan point. That black area underneath it is just, the camera couldn't see that, so it didn't know how to paint it like it painted the rest of the floor. The further you get away, the less detail. You notice if you get in the corners, it's kind of grainy. But as you scan, you're going to fill in those spots that are like that. So now I'm going to move this. I'm probably going to move about 10 or 12 feet here over to the corner. And then I'm going to hit the scan button again. It's going to do the same thing. There's a little progress thing you can see on the back here. A quarter, a half, 3/4, and then full. Okay, so that one's done. So it's transferring the data over, and now it's aligning it. So boom. Now you can see 2 filled in that corner. It got rid of that graininess there, and it got rid of that black spot under the where you did your first scan, because now from this spot it could see that floor, so it knew what to fill in there. So we'll see when we do a complete job, you basically go around and make sure everything is filled in. But so that's the basics on setting up and starting your scanning with the Pro 3. I'll set up and go through the Pro 2 briefly. It's very similar to this though. Okay, so now we're going to go through the basic setup of the Pro 2. If you rented the complete kit from us, you're going to get that charger, the camera with the tripod adapter, a tablet, and the tripod. I'm not going to set the tripod up again because that's obviously going to be the same. So the Pro 2 camera, we ship them in these pouches, zipper pouches here. There's the tripod adapter. Here is the camera. I'll move that out of the way, put this here. Now, as I mentioned, the Pro 2 has infrared sensors that it collects the 3D data as opposed to LiDAR. I believe the emitters are there and the receivers are there and the cameras are in the middle, I'm pretty sure. Or it could be reverse of that. And it's got the mount here. This little plate is what you clip into there when you're mounting the camera. The controls on it, this bottom one with a battery symbol on it, obviously that's the battery. It tells you how much time is left. And it says 9 hours and 22 minutes remaining. You should be close to that. Typically 8 to 9 hours on a on a Pro 2 is what you're going to have when it's fully charged. And then, so if you're getting ready to scan, you're going to push this. This is the power button. You're going to push the power button. You just push it and let it go immediately. The rapid blue light means it's booting up, and it's going to go through a sequence there. Now, while it's doing that, I'm going to put the tripod adapter on here. Just want to make sure it's down tight, and like I said earlier, if you want to make sure this little thing isn't loose that extends up, just everything's good and solid, because you can get the same issue with the Pro 2. You can get an unstable error if there's any movement there. Okay, it says warming up. The little Wi-Fi is blinking, so that probably means the Wi-Fi network is available to connect to. So this iPad was already on. I'm going to go into the settings, and I'm going to go into the look at the Wi-Fi networks and see what okay, so here Matterport M02. Okay, so this is the Pro 2s. The older ones have a letter followed by 3 numbers. The newer ones have this 8-digit serial number, but it's Matterport and the serial number of the camera. So that's the camera. I want to go ahead and connect to that network, camera's network. That turned solid, so that means I'm connected, and I got confirmed here, it's checked, so that's connected. So we're good to go there. I'm going to go ahead and open up the Capture app, and then I'm going to start a new job. I'm going to do test 2 for this one, save. It's going to open up, and there you can see it says Matterport Pro 2. So you know you're connected to it confirms it there, and then you can see it in the camera. The Wi-Fi thing is solid, so that means it's connected. So now we're going to mount. This is a little different here. Like I said, this plate slides in these grooves here. If it's loosened all the way up, yeah, you can basically put one side in, tilt it down, Put the other side in, make sure it's centered. And then you want to tighten this, and I always like to wiggle the camera a little bit and then tighten it again just in case to make sure it's tightened. Okay, so now we're set up there. The camera's on, it's connected to the iPad, the capture app's open, I set up a job, says it's connected there. And this is going to work essentially just the same as the Pro 3 did. So I'm going to do a scan here. I'm going to push the button. You're going to notice the difference here. This has 6 stops when it goes around. And it's really easy to stay behind it, stay out of the way. Okay, so we've done the 6. It gives you a little beep, and it gave me the message, okay to move the camera. Whenever you see the okay to move the camera, you're good to pick it up and move it. I don't like to initiate a scan again until it's populated on the iPad. Okay, so there's what we've done. There again, you see a black space under the camera. You can see it's 6-sided. That's the 6 positions. That's another way to know that that scan is a Pro 2 scan, just by the shape of that nadir patch underneath it. There again, it couldn't see underneath, so it's black. The table I have here, you can see here, was blocking the camera. That's where that's the shape of the table on the floor. So the camera could not see the floor. The table was blocking it. That's why that area is black. Now I'm going to do another scan here, and it should fill in part of that here. So let's hit the button. 1, 2. After you've scanned a lot, you know you just automatically walk the rhythm behind the camera. You get used to it. Okay, that's 6. It says okay to move the camera. I'm going to move the camera over here, say, just for the heck of it. We might do a third one. Oh, no, it filled it up. Yeah, it filled it pretty much in. There's a little black spot there. I'm going to scan here and see if it should fill that black spot in, just to give you the idea of what's going on. If something's blocking it, it can't put the texture on the floor, so we'll do this third scan here, and it should fill in that for the most part. Like I was saying earlier, it's very similar. The Pro 2 and the Pro 3 work very similar. Okay, and you can see it filled it in pretty good there. So that's the basics of scanning with the Pro 2 and the Pro 3. And like I said, we're going to go and scan a little small little commercial office space and talk a little bit more detail about techniques in that.